over a year ago, I did a review on Villanos, aka Villainous, a Cartoon Network Latin America web series created by Alan Ituriel. Over the course of my original review, I praised the characters, unique decision to play the idea of evil completely straight, and the creator's passion for the project. I concluded my review by giving Villainous high recommendations, as well as voicing my hopes that it would one day become a full-fledged show. Now, while the show hasn't exactly hit Cartoon Network just yet, we are making progress, seeing as how the subject of today's review, the pilot episode, was recently released. Before I jump into my review though, I'd love to know your thoughts on all this. Whether it be during or after the video, feel free to voice your opinions in the comments below. With that out of the way, let's jump in. So the plot of the pilot episode is simple but effective. Set in the same universe as the web series, where heroes and villains run around duking it out, we are introduced to a super villainess named Penumbra, who, incapable of taking care of the superhero Sunblast herself, decides to hire a Black Hat organization to take care of him for her. From here, we follow the wacky hijinks of Black Hat's three henchmen, Dr. Flug, Dementia, and 505, as they do their best to defeat the arrogant superhero themselves. And yes, though they have some trouble at first, they do come out victorious, though not up to Black Hat's strict standards, or in the way Penumbra probably wanted. Now overall, I really liked this pilot episode, and there were actually a few things in particular that stood out to me. Number one, I really enjoyed how natural it felt, seeing Villainous in a longer format. While the premise has always been an interesting one, I'll admit I was always a bit worried about how any of this would carry over to an actual series. Fortunately though, I think that this episode worked quite well, and I could see the series getting plenty of content out of following the members of Black Hat organization as they carry out different missions. With a variety of locations to explore, different powered heroes to defeat, and an array of gadgets to use, I would hope things feel fresh for a while. Another thing that I enjoyed was the further world building. While the original web series only really focuses on Black Hat organization trying to sell their services, and that's it, the pilot episode goes further than that to give us a glimpse into the world and seemingly set up stuff for later. For instance, what's up with that hero in Dr. Flug's dream that is taunting him and seems to know about his past failures? Or what's up with that creepy contract that Black Hat made Penumbra sign when she asked how she could repay him? And did anyone else notice that there was a point where there was some footage of normal civilians who seemed to be on Penumbra's side? I thought that all of these details were really interesting, and now I'm really curious to see if we get some answers to all of this later. The last few things that I appreciated are basically some of the stuff I've talked about in my previous review. By that I mean that I continue to enjoy the decision to focus on the bad guys, as well as enjoy some of the characters. When it comes to following the bad guys, I pretty much just like that it's different, and not really a perspective that is covered much in media. I mean, outside of maybe some gags on other shows, following the villains in their daily work just isn't really a thing. And as for the characters, they may not be the deepest or anything, but I feel that they all fit into their roles really well. Like, sure, we don't know anything about Dr. Flug or why he wears a paper bag over his head, but understanding what kind of character he is and how he fits into the group is super easy. With all that being said though, there are some negatives that I wanted to point out as well. For one, being that he's the head of the organization and seemingly the main character, I was a bit disappointed that we didn't see much of Black Hat in this episode. While I get that this is just the pilot and probably not what we can expect going forward, still just want to throw it out there that Black Hat didn't play a big part here. Another negative is that while you can very easily watch a sub version of the episode right here on YouTube, I still think that it sucks how the show hasn't really made its way out of Latin America. I would hope that this will change if the show gets picked up, but for now, expect to have to catch episodes thanks to fans uploading them. So in conclusion, though the pilot episode is just another hint of what to expect, I really enjoyed watching it and continue to recommend the series to everyone. Yeah, feels like it has taken a while to get there, and it definitely won't be everyone's cup of tea, but if you think you'd enjoy a cartoon with some dark humor that follows the misadventures of the bad guys, then why not check it out? But hey, that's just my opinion. And remember, don't take anything I say too seriously. After all, I'm just a wannabe reviewer. Thanks for watching.